You too. And we also want to welcome our international viewers who have just joined us. And your reaction to Mark Meadows saying that he's talking to the president. The president is willing to hold firm. He's not going to go anywhere near what the Democrats want, $1.3 billion for border security. Meadows is right. This could go on for a while.
Yeah, he also hedged it a little bit. He also said there was no evidence that Trump was talking to him. So he did hedge it because you have to be careful when you're talking about Donald Trump that he could change the parameters of what he's talking about.
So maybe Meadows is concerned he could get undercut by the president.
I don't think so right now. I mean, look, let's play this out. If they don't do a deal this week, Democrats will come in and take charge of the House, and Speaker Nancy Pelosi will put a funding deal on the floor. It will pass in a Democratic majority, and then it will go to a Republican-run Senate. And then what happens? Mitch McConnell will ask his colleagues what they think, and if he thinks they need to pass it.
And that's why I asked him that question at the end, because I see that scenario possibly playing out. The House passes something, and McConnell feels a lot of pressure from his guys to reopen the government. There's a lot of frustration among Republicans, and they passed that short-term bill already by a voice vote. Do you think that could happen, that Congress tries to move and overcome any presidential veto on it?
I think that's certainly possible because, look, Republicans want to be able to back up the president on his policies, but they are not willing to risk a shutdown over it. I mean, time and time again, there is a coalition among House Republicans led by Mark Meadows who have agitated for a shutdown standoff, but the vast majority of Republicans think the shutdown is not a good idea. Shutdowns are never a good idea, and they want this to end as quickly as possible.
And the president seems to think this is a good idea.
Well, sort of, yes, but he also was sending Mike Pence up to the Hill behind the scenes to try to cut a deal before Christmas. So he's kind of trying to figure out what his play is, and I think this terrible, tragic death of this second child is going to add a new element of pressure to the shutdown negotiations. The president may try to say this is evidence of the need for a wall, but I think Democrats are going to say, if you want us to give you money, what you need money for is taking care, of these very fragile children who were in your care. And from that call today, the briefing call with DHS, we learned that other than these two children, it had been a decade since you had children dying crossing the border, only a handful, a half a dozen adults dying over the past year. So I think the death of the second child has changed the administration's perception of the problem. I think there is a willingness now to try to take things seriously. The Homeland Secretary preparing to make a visit herself, the CDC engaged, discussions with Mexican health officials now about whether there's actually a virus problem. So when something of that proportion, that sort of epic tragedy enters the shutdown talks, it injects a new element into the
real life consequences to this fight. Up next, an update on Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who has